Keep the peace. Keep the peace. Across oceans and continents, compassion for one another, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Keep the peace. And keep the peace. We believe in peace. Find a peaceful solution. Bring lasting peace. Keep the peace. In order to make the world a more peaceful place, peace on earth, respect and friendship, and reject violence. Now and in the future, keep the peace. Make the world better. And keep the peace. Keep the peace. Tolerance. And keep the peace. Fair dealing and forgiveness for all who love freedom and peace. For everyone, the need is great. Keep the peace. Abandonment and abuse are not acts of God, but of George W. George W. Bush can destroy you. And make no mistake about it. And you know what? Don't mess with Bush. Don't mess with Bush. George W. Bush is not the answer. We have common sense. A 100 years from now, we'll reduce taxes. Don't mess with Bush. Don't mess with Bush. And I committed grown-up crimes because I needed it to get tough. Americans in need are strangers who refuse to accept good news about our economy. And America's armed forces need drugs and alcohol to fulfill the mission. My dad must be held accountable for all. The homeless, we're proud of you. We're coming home. Don't mess with Bush. Don't mess with Bush. As governor, I've made bad decisions. If you give me your trust, I will destroy you. Not to confront problems, pass them on to others. We will give low-income Americans 30 or 40 years in jail. America will be proud to have depression and war. George W. Bush did nothing. For everyone. Is there hope for me? Do I have a chance? And frankly, no way. Don't mess with Bush. Mess with Bush. Everybody loves you and so do I. And don't believe a word of it. And make drugs available and affordable for everyone. And I cannot do this work. Hundreds of thousands of low-income families. I'm proud of this record. I believe great decisions are made with weapons of mass destruction. And mother, leave the air and waters clean. My re-election will not make it safer. Single moms struggling to feed the kids. We will continue this progress. Sometimes in life we're called to do great things. Not this time. Guys like me like to fish. Guys like me like to watch birds. People like my wife like to watch television. Guys like me like to collect $25 trillion. Guys like me like to come with the big dick. Guys like me like to have sex with people like my wife. Guys like me like to fart. Listen. Beautiful. Guys like me like to watch socks because it sucks. Guys like me like to go to heaven and then all the way to God. Dear Daddy, just give us a chance to get up there. We're going to make sure you get tax cuts. Guys like me like to keep doing good work. Okay. Guys like me are not much of an example. Guys like Vice President Cheney attack innocent people big shot. Guys like me like to go through a prison gate. The world will be safer, more peaceful. Think about that. Guys like me like to leave Iraq. It's a good idea. It saves a lot of lives. And finally, guys like me need to be stopped. Thank you. George W. Bush, a mastermind of September the 11th, together with the CIA, because I needed it, an opportunity to start a search for scapegoats. Let them look to Afghanistan, and above all, Iraq. And one reason is clear. Iraqi oil production. Let's call it the war on terror. Members of Congress, Mr. Speaker, now I desire to tell the truth. I am an asshole. Pure and simple. Just the way it is. Just gotta understand that. I am an asshole. Put it this way. My father and mother made him an asshole. I'm sick and tired of games and deception. And let me say one other thing. Dad, I am a mother. I know the folks couldn't believe I'd say such a thing, but it is the truth. We make new discoveries all the time. Take the word of a madman. Osama bin Laden, he may be alive. If he is, we'll get him. And send him off with new socks and shoes. That needs to be fixed. September the 11th. This mother was back in school. We've heard a story about goats. Now is the time for stories of goats. And no one will keep that light from shining. And we set a goal to feed the goats. And now I'm going to spend a little time with a brain doctor. I desire to tell the truth. I am an asshole. I want to be in jail. I need to be in jail. I am an asshole. You know what I'm talking about. Put it this way. My father and mother made him an asshole. I'm sick and tired of games and deception. And let me say one other thing. Dad, I am a mother. Make no mistake about it. As I've repeatedly said, I am an asshole. I ask for your forgiveness. Would you please forgive me? And I'll tell you why. I am an asshole. 9/11, Afghanistan, Iraq, and ghosts. Osama bin Laden, Vice President Cheney. You know what? I am an asshole. That's a fact. That's a fact. $1,000, $3,000, $1 billion, about $28,000, $25 trillion, $7 billion, $500 to $1,000 billion, $25 trillion. I am passionate about my plans to give people more money, and it's very important. Hand over the money to the people now, because it's your money. This money is in your name. Hand over the money to the people now. Times are tough. You need that money. And that's something that we need to get done. We're going to work on that. You can use that money as quickly as possible. And the world is a better place because of the actions we took. Times are tough. And here it is. Much more is coming. Listen, we'll work hard to give people more money. You too are on our radar screen. It's an important initiative. It's a vital initiative. It is a plan that is a plan of mercy and a better quality of life for everyone. Tax-free. Hear me loud and clear. Hand over the money to the people now, because it's your money. And that's positive news. I'm telling you. Hand over the money to the people now. We not only made the message clear, we delivered. The best way to deal with the threat we face is to give people more money. Pure and simple. Money is God's gift to mankind. Truly believe that. I love you, can I care for you? $51,000 or more. I think it's perfectly reasonable in this land of plenty. Money factories make more. This goal is making money. The idea is that we want to help people. See, if we say every life matters, if we believe that every life has worth, if we believe that, then it makes sense for us to give people more money. And I repeat what I said earlier. More money. In my strong judgment, everybody needs more than $1 billion a month. My job as your president. There's no doubt in my mind. A hopeful day has arrived because there's money in your account this week. I intend to fix it. Hand over the money to the people now, because it's your money. It's not the government's money. It's the people's money. Hand over the money to the people now. The best way to help an economy recover. I want to work with you to get the AIDS initiative passed out of the Senate and the House as quickly as possible. And that's not asking too much. And the world is a better place. You don't have to worry about that. I love you, can I care for you? Fellow citizens, first, let me just say this as clearly as I can. Thus far, it appears that we are making progress. As governor, let's see, just the way I lead, and I'm referring to I haven't had the briefing yet, but we believe in the best. All I know is we got a game plan. It's a good idea, and we're doing just that. And that's exactly what's going to happen shortly. And this is, I repeat, this is a national problem. I don't know all the details yet, but let there be no misunderstanding. There's only one answer. Tell him. And so that's why I've made the decisions I made. And that's why I introduced a plan. That's the case. That's how I feel about it. And that's a good thing. Something, Vice President's, my plan not only, let me say something. Let me just put it to you this way. I would just tell people what I think. In other words, I think people, I just told you that I intend to work with Congress to do something about it and fix the problem. And that we're executing a plan. And that's what people have got to know, yeah. Yeah, I have nothing more to add to that. And what was the first part of the question? Dear Daddy, thanks for taking time to come. It is fun to be in the same decade with you. We seek a just and peaceful world with the world's most destructive weapons that will bring lasting peace. The last time we met in this chamber, Vice President Cheney was armed with explosives. Members of Congress are now dangerous killers. We can overcome evil with greater evil. Al-Qaeda was found in a hole having sex with weapons of mass destruction. And that's why the world has said, disarm. In the words of the prophet Isaiah, who I supported, from him and from hundreds of others, he announced that all fathers and mothers in all societies, I'm going to praise those nations who've joined our coalition. And I believe we need to take him seriously. The men and women of our armed forces have delivered a message now clear to every enemy. For the sake of American workers, I invite you to join the new USA Freedom Corps. And second, our first goal is clear. I also have a message for all Americans. Our men and women in uniform deserve the best sex with every voter in the state of Florida. Father, either you're with us or you're against us. If you aren't sure how to help create jobs in America and Texas, the President of the United States, who had been trained by Al-Qaeda, is the Almighty God's gift to every man and woman in this world. The American people are now threatened and endangered species. Father, please take this to heaven. You and I will work together in the months ahead on other issues. Thank you. Good night. And bless America. peace for all species and furthermore, reduce the war. We'll increase the peace for all species. One thing more, gotta stop the war. Give me the peace in the Middle East. The right thing, a peaceful morning. Living side by side without a fight, and you will make us proud. You know what I'm talking about. We'll increase the peace for all species and furthermore, reduce the war. We'll increase the peace for all species. One thing more, gotta stop the war. Give me the sex, will ya? Great sex. Thank you. We'll increase the peace for all species and furthermore, reduce the war. We'll increase the peace for all species. One thing more, gotta stop the war. We'll increase the peace for all species and furthermore, reduce the war. We'll increase the peace for all species. One thing more, gotta stop the war. People everywhere, from all walks of life, a hopeful day has arrived. But to increase the peace, lay down your arms, please, like I have said before. Now stop the war. We'll increase the peace for all species. A perfect score. Reduce the war. We'll increase the peace for thousands of species. That's right. Gotta stop the fight. Blow, daddy. Thank you. My fellow Muslims, I've come here tonight as a faithful Muslim. I'm the new president of Iraq, seeking the return of tyranny and the death of democracy. And I want to thank the other candidates. A man can be jailed if his beard is not long enough. You can be jailed for owning a television. The Iraqi people must hear this loud and clear. President George W. Bush will keep the promise. The politics of fear. Damn the consequences. Another test of leadership. I invite you to join the new Hezbollah. I'm the new president of Iraq. I know how to lead. Well, I'm pleased with the results of the election. I have a message for America. Leave this nation now. In the name of Allah, go home and die. I'll just take my heart and my skills to another country. I'm moving. From this day forward, I'm President George Mohammed W. Capable of any crime. Some have questioned whether the Iraqi people are ready for decapitation. There's just a better life than the one they have to live now. And a voice gone forever. We will miss them all the more. In the words of the Prophet Allah, I'm from Texas, so don't mess with me. American soldiers and Marines, our nation appreciates their hard work and sacrifice. And they can know that they will be heading soon. They will be heading home soon. The new president of Iraq. My call tonight is for every American to commit at least suicide or retreat for their sake and our own. Leave no child behind. Create jobs in America, not in Iraq. I invite you to join the explosives. The way to create jobs. Guys like me like to funk. Funky stuff, baby. Listen to the funk. That's what it looks like to me. Give me fresh funk, brother, right now. And here it is. This is funky stuff, baby. Thank you all for working hard here. There are good people working together on your behalf. It is to give fun to a friend. Glad you're here. Thanks for what you have already done. And for what you will do. This is Funky Baby. I am proud of this record. Stay funky, brother, please. And no one will keep that funk from shining. This is funky stuff, baby. That's a fact. That's a fact. I've got to go. Baby. Good evening. troops in action after September the 11th. I was using drugs and alcohol to get tough and to get rid of Saddam Hussein, who had nothing to do with 9/11. But, you know, my dad did not do the job. So I talked to my dad when I became president. I said, "Dear Daddy, you know what? It does not end there. I ask for your patience. In the months and years ahead, life will change for everybody. Because everybody is going to live in fear. Something terrible is going to happen." I talked to the FBI, the CIA, and Al-Qaeda, and we made a plan. Airplanes flying in the World Trade Center, in the Pentagon. And everybody is going to blame our good friend, Osama bin Laden. First, we will bomb Afghanistan. We will hide Osama bin Laden. Later, we will attack Iraq. Let's say to the world that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. I know that he does not have those weapons, but we need an excuse to go to Iraq and to get this son of a bitch. The American people will support our mission, and the name Bush will be spoken with respect. And so, on 9/11, when I was at the school, reading a simple children's book about goats, I was really interested in the story about the goats, because that was a story I'd never heard before. You know, goats are the absolute most interesting species of wildlife. I'm telling you. They can make a lot of sounds, you know, especially when they aren't hungry for food. That's a fact. That's a fact. Right after 9/11, I had adopted several different goats for me and my family. One of my goats is called after Osama bin Laden because he is always hiding on mountaintops and in caves. Anyway, before September the 11th, 2001, I knew that attacks were coming to America, but we needed the American people to become full of anger and hate so they would better accept a war in Iraq. We did well, Dad. And hug your children, please. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. And that's a good thing. Each of us can do something to do the right thing. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. And that's a good thing. Each of us can do something. In the name of peace, we reach a reasonable conclusion. One way to secure the peace is to love and to serve one another. Pure and simple. People everywhere, from all walks of life, but the responsibility to make the world more peaceful on your behalf. It is a way forward. It's incredibly positive news that will bring lasting peace. Something's wrong with the system. They must hear your voice that the system needs to be updated. You advocate these values around the world. Thank you very much. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. And that's a good thing. Each of us can do something to do the right thing. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. And that's a good thing. Each of us can do something in the name of peace. And it remains the great duty of mankind. And pass along, as neighbor helps neighbor, as quickly as possible before people get hurt. Each of us can do some good by loving a neighbor just like you'd like to be loved yourself. Thank you very much. For the sake of peace, help a neighbor in need. I don't think that's too high a standard. And I hope you'll join me in the name of peace. I think it's a difference of attitude. It is a call to conscience. It is a new world. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. And that's a good thing. Each of us can do something to do the right thing. And that's not asking too much. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the tunnel. And email your old dad once in a while, will you? That is reasonable. We love you and we do not want to lose you. Times are tough. Help a neighbor in need. Repair bridges and keep the peace. Join in this important cause. No people on earth yearn to be oppressed. Living side by side. Disarm for the name of peace. Forgiveness. Peace and sacrifice. Fair play. Now is the time. Tolerance. Help someone in need. Do something. It is the time for new beginnings. Always seeing the tunnel at the end of the light. And that's a good thing. Each of us can do something to do the right thing. Thank you and good evening. My call to our fellow Americans: join me in the wrong war, at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Follow me into a mistake. Our plan is not working. It's the wrong war, at the wrong place, at the wrong time. It was a mistake to be there in the first place. It's a fact. The war where we are is a mistake. Period. Whew. It was a mistake. And that's the reality. Join me in the wrong war, at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Follow me into a mistake. Our plan is not working. It's the wrong war, at the wrong place, at the wrong time. It was a mistake to be there in the first place. It's a fact. Another example would be, if George W. gets elected, your check will be taken away. We're spending your money. The wrong thing. I am doing nothing, and will continue to do so over the next 4 years. And I recognize I've made some mistakes. And I just told you the facts, sir. get us out of this recession? I don't know. I just don't know. Join me in the wrong war, at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Follow me into a mistake. Our plan is not working. It's the wrong war at the wrong place at the wrong time. It was a mistake to be there in the first place. It's a fact. My opponent can lead this country, and America will be better off for it. My opponent says he has a plan. I don't. And I am not asking for your vote. I'm going to prevent that. It's not right. We need to have a new look. It's time for a fresh start. It's time for the man to leave. It's time for the man to go. It's time to have a leader. It is time for a new administration on your behalf. Join me in the wrong war, at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Follow me into a mistake. Our plan is not working. It's the wrong war at the wrong place at the wrong time. It was a mistake to be there in the first place. It's a fact. The war where we are is a mistake. Period. Whew. It was a mistake. And that's the reality. This is an administration that's had no plan. I don't think you want a president who does the wrong thing. Join me in the wrong war, at the wrong time, at the wrong place. Follow me into a mistake. Our plan is not working. It's the wrong war at the wrong place at the wrong time. It was a mistake to be there in the first place. It's a fact. We're making no progress. And nothing has been done since I've been the President of the United States. My opponent, he says he's going to give you tax cuts. Made a lot of sense. Whew. It's time to leave. It's time to go. The best decision I ever made. I want to speak tonight directly to Muslims throughout the world. In English, Hebrew, and Arabic. In the name of Allah. For guys like me who like to come. Without harming the grasses or the shoreline. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of dead, my dead, I fear no one. The Taliban for the sake of all I'm saying is, and you know what? Muhammad. I'm telling you, you know what I'm talking about. We're telling the people in the Middle East, Muslims throughout the world, are now wearing the uniform of the United States military. When this was not caused my tax plan. And this is a verse in the school bonus plans. Don't you, Mom? Assaults with explosives. Thank you. Lift your eyes and look to the heavens. Who created all these? Brother Bradley. My dad. That is, and I, Yaishi Muhammad. And hundreds of British citizens. You know, I think it is... I haven't had the briefing yet, but... around America, around the world, and around the clock, are keeping terrorists across the world on the run. And that's just one senator from Massachusetts. And use force if necessary. And by doing so, we will defend our people from danger. That's an easy one for me to remember. We would not hesitate to use those weapons, which can be used to power a car, the best way to defend our homeland, to get them on the run. The danger is behind us. That abandons forever the use of terror. We should do it now. There is work for all of us to do. We're good at what we do. And I want to thank Harvey Pitt for that. Like ticking time bombs, set to go off without warning. These methods are good for hunting criminals. We face an urgent need to send the right signal. Blasting winds, restless energy. Produce more energy at home. Every family, every farmer and small business person, not only once, but twice. Last month, a girl in Lincoln, Rhode Island, sent me a letter. She added this P.S., which must now be carried out in every school. Much more is needed. I want it done. And it takes a lot of work to do that. It's all part of the war against terror. In the words of the prophet Isaiah, I'm counting on you all to do the same. Get rid of them. Government cannot do this work. A couple more and then I gotta go. Many ask, what can I do to help in our fight? And we can do so in an environmentally friendly way. And we are accelerating the training of more. And this is recycled stuff. A 36% increase since 2001. With the daring of our rescue workers, who died at the World Trade Center trying to save others. With the caring for strangers and neighbors who came to give blood. We have seen it in the courage of passengers who rushed terrorists to save others on the ground. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. And no one will keep that light from shining. Some will carry memories of a face. Some will remember an image of a fire and a voice gone forever. None of us will ever forget this day. May God grant us wisdom.